Today we're going over a Spider-Man that likes sushi and robots. So here we have our Spider-Man from Japan. It's a really good looking figure. The box art is really cool. Has that popping silhouette behind him. He's got the crazy cool pose on the side with the bright colors. And the first thing I really just love is just that the box art is really embracing the Japanese TV show that it's based on, and the accessories, seem to be, plentiful for the amount of money that I spent on this. Granted, of course, this was a few years ago, so before the price hike in Legends went up. So let's get to opening this bad boy up. Beautiful looking box art. Like I said, I love the bright yellow and the red, and I love the way his eyes just always look angry on this face sculpt here. I love his cool little bracelet that he uses to call his giant robot, which, if you were unaware, he has this giant robot named Leopardon that he comes and hits the bracelet, and he calls him, and he jumps in Power Ranger style and fights giant kaiju with. So let's open him up here. Let's see what we got. Let's crack it open. I love how it looks like there's bunching on the mask as well, like there's wrinkles on his face to show that it looks like real fabric. I love the way that looks. That's great. This is the time where I am realizing that I didn't cut all of the tape. So good job on me. Bravo, Frank. Well done. Okay, let's get this back in here. All right, so let's crack this open right here. One thing I'm not a huge fan of was the windowless Legends boxing. I understand that it was, environmentally sound and probably cost effective for them, but I don't think that, for the collector, especially the inbox collector, that it's a pretty big disservice. So here we have our accessories. I'm gonna just rip that right open here. So here we have our generic Legends Spider-Man webs with the little loop on the end. And then we've gotten our first spider web. And then we have our fisted hands. And if you look, you see like they have it's almost like an orangey red that they have on the color. And then here's another spider web. I really have no idea how to display those spider webs properly. I'm sure I'll probably have to Google it or check somebody else's videos out. All right, going into this now, let's see the main attraction. And get rid of the cardboard. All right, now that we have our tissue paper. All right, so first thing I noticed, like I said, is we have the pop on it's an orangey red. It's got a good blue with it. Total 360 on the head. It could look up a little higher, but for what it is, it looks down pretty well. But a lot of these Spider-Man, unless you have to mod them, you'd have to, cut the back and fix the peg. 360 on the shoulder. So it looks like we have double jointed elbows and knees. Or should I say single jointed elbows, double jointed knees? Oh no, it's double jointed elbows. And we've got our wingspan, T-pose here. Got thigh cuts, here's the ab crunch. It could be a little more to be desired, especially because he's a Japanese character. And a lot of the Japanese shows show him like squatting and crouching. I do dig the white on the soles of his shoes though. There's your knees. I just think the Japanese characters should have a little more flexibility because that's how they display them in the actual shows that they're based on. But other than that, you've got your bicep swivel there. You've got your cool little finger pose there, like he's gonna hit his bracelet. And there's Spider-Man on the bracelet. It's a pretty cool accessory there. I am digging the old school spider on the chest with the logo. I really do like the way the boots look. So the only thing we really have to do now, love the bunching on the face, the wrinkles. The only thing we really have to do now is just figure out how we're going to pose him, and I'm going to try and put him in a pose that is fitting his style. So here we have it. got a pretty good squatting pose out of him. He does look like he is about to call his giant robot. I love the Power Ranger-esque stance and how choreographed all the Japanese shows like this were. Very theatrical. Overall, I think it looks pretty good. I'm adding it to my Spider-Verse display that I have with some of my old figures from when I was a kid and some stuff I got at garage sales. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and that's going to probably do it for this one. Let me know what you guys want me to do next. All right, take care.